Let's talk about Dave Canales, the quarterback whisperer. If this is your first time tuning into the show, please hit that subscribe button. Welcome to Quick Hit Clips, short segments by me, Carolina Dad, the creator of the Two Growls, One World podcast. And folks, I know I've talked about this on various segments, but today I wanted to sit back and really hone in on this idea that Dave Canales is going to come in and resurrect Bryce Young. I think the path that we have seen in his career as a coach would say more times than not, yes, you would put your money on him coming in here and changing Bryce Young. But we got to take a step back and say, why is that? How do we know that? How can we feel confident? And I think it really even goes back to before Geno Smith, starting off with Russell Wilson having one of his best seasons, or really best passing season ever in 2020 with the Seattle Seahawks. 4,200 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and a 105.1 passer rating. The following year in 2021, I know a little bit of a fall off, but not much, at least yardage wise. 3,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 103 passer rating. We then see, so you've got Dave Canales working with you, quarterbacks coach, those years. He goes down, and I should say completion percentage, best of his career, 68.8, then 64.8. We see him go to Denver under Sean Payton. And I know there's a lot more going on there, but completely implode. I mean, the last season was a little bit better, and then they still bench him, but the 2022 season, 3,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. This past year, I know he sat a few games at the end, well over 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So the theme I think that we've seen is take a quarterback, help them grow, a quarterback that was underachieving or was written off, whatever it is, elevate their game. And then when he's gone, it's hard to say both things are exactly related. Like, I'm not oblivious, and I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, Dave Canales is the sole reason these guys were successful. I listen to a lot of content, I listen to a lot of shows, and I think here recently, in some ways, Dave Canales is getting too much credit. And I'm a big fan of Dave's, but I think he's getting too much credit for some of the things that we are saying. And I'm part of the group that's pushing that a little bit. But if you think about his role, he did not serve as an offensive coordinator and call plays and have a true impact. I'm not saying a quarterback coach does not have impact, but have an impact more than we would probably credit him for until this past year in Tampa Bay. So his time with Geno, his time with Russell, he's quarterbacks coach. That's it. Like I said, I know there's a lot that goes into that, and I think that's part of the reason he is part of the reason they were able to elevate. But it's something to think in mind. You go back to Geno Smith, who, man, just up and down career, trying to find his footing, gets his shot in 2022, breakout, best career year for him. 4,200 yards passing, 69.8% completion percentage, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 100.9 rating. Next year, falls off, 3,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 92.1 passer rating, and 64.7 completion percentage. So a little bit of a fall off. Again, I can't sit here and look you in the face and say, yep, you know what? Dave Canales is the reason these quarterbacks excel, and he's also the reason when he leaves that they no longer are able to be successful. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but I do see where some people are coming from when they say that. The other that, hey, very well known here in Carolina, Baker Mayfield. I think this is probably the clearest, strongest case that you could make for him reviving a quarterback that was simply left out to dry. There's a reason that he was in conversation for comeback player of the year. You look at his production throughout his career, until this past year, never threw for 4,000 yards. Best year, passing wise, for yards was 2019. Most touchdowns in a season was 2020. And then this past year, Dave Canales offense, 4,000 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 94.6 passer rating, 64.3 completion percentage. Again, I think this is probably the closest sample that we have to really see this. But I also think you've got some variables in there for each of these situations that kind of skew this a little bit. And that's primarily the wide receiver play. Very solid wide receiver play, whether it's Pro Bowlers or even a Mike Evans all pro ish level type talent. Those things can help out any quarterback. And whether it's a DK Metcalf or some of the weapons that were there in Seattle that were available to Russell and Geno, and again, what Baker Mayfield had or does have in Tampa Bay, those things can make a quarterback look good. So our question, or my question really isn't, yeah, I think Dave Canales can construct an offense that can help Bryce Young, but it's really the question turns to, did we get enough of those type of players around Bryce? I think we did with the offensive line, running back, yes. But the wide receiver room, is there enough there to help him elevate, to make some of those contested plays, to get yards after catch? Those are the things that are a difference maker. When I go back and I watch Baker Mayfield's highlights from last year, look at his highlight tape, and honestly, it could have been a double highlight tape for Mike Evans. That's how good he was. His ability to catch and run, go up and make plays, extend the play, getting extra yards. Those are things that help pad stats. Not to say that all these stats are padded, but those things definitely help you out. And it'll help out a quarterback now in his second year in Bryce Young that is being pretty much written off by everyone else in the NFL. So I'd love to know what y'all think about this. Is Dave Canales the quarterback whisperer that we've been waiting for? And can he have an impact on Bryce Young in his first year as the head coach and offensive coordinator? Anyways, folks, that's Carolina Dad. Y'all have a good one.